Hey guys, this week we are back to the land of floating pipes, aggressive mushrooms, talking flowers, flying turtles, and plumbers that don't actually do any plumbing. Let's get into it. Oh, right, I haven't actually mentioned what I'll be making, but you've probably seen the thumbnail, but if not, I'll be making a Mario Piranha Plant with a twist. The twist will come at the end and is my little surprise for this project. So what's the twist? You'll have to wait and see. These are the colours I've used. The red, a wine colour, white, pink and green. I was torn between these two greens for a while. One is the Flutterby yarn and the other is the King Cole Yummy. I ended up picking the Flutterby yarn as it's a more vibrant green than the other one. But anyway, I will of course leave a list of everything that I've used in the description box below. So let's get stuck in and begin by making the head. Starting with the deeper red, I began by crocheting a circle. This will be the inside of the mouth and will mostly not be seen, so if you don't have the correct colour, you can always substitute it for another yarn that you don't use as much and then cover it with felt later on. Once I got the diameter I wanted, I made one last slip stitch and wove in the end. I of course made two of these pieces and then we shall put them aside for now because I'll come back to them later. Next, I moved on to the back of the head, which I made using the red yarn. Instead of a flat circle, I needed to make it slightly domed, but with the same diameter as the inside piece. Also, for the second half, I left the magic circle untightened. This was for reasons. But well, this part is optional and you can actually close it, but I was just being extra cautious in case I needed to leave room to insert the spine later on. But I will be coming back to crochet the stalk around this slightly open part later anyway. With the back of the head done, I joined the inside of the mouth to the head by crocheting the two pieces together. I then slightly stuffed it before closing it completely, which I did by slip stitching to close the round and weave in the ends. For the second half of the head, it was almost exactly the same steps, but I didn't cut the yarn because this is the point I would be carrying on from to join the two halves together. So back to the head, I joined the two halves together by crocheting around both pieces until I got the size of the mouth I wanted. This row determined how open or closed the mouth would be. I decided to go for a half closed mouth, not fully open, but you can have the fully open if you're going to have it facing directly up. But since mine is going to be facing to the side, I wanted it to be half open. Once I established how wide I wanted it, I carried on for a few more rows in the red yarn and then I switched to the white to crochet the lips. After several rows of the lips, I rolled the rows back and sewed the edges down. I made sure to lightly stuff them as I went. For the tongue, I used the pink yarn, and during the mock-up phase when I did a littler version, I crocheted a tube, but for the plushie version I decided to do a circle because I thought aesthetically it looked nicer. So I did a circle that was slightly smaller than the diameter of the inside of the mouth, and then I lightly stuffed it and then sewed it into the inside of the mouth. Before I did that, however, it occurred to me that I should do the stalk first. As it turns out, it's much easier to crochet the stalk with just one half weighing things down. But, you know, I didn't do that. In the end, I ended up, finishing at the head first and then doing the stalk. So maybe do as I say, but don't do as I do. But anyway, I went back to the open magic ring and started to crochet the stalk by using the green yarn. This was pretty simple as it was mainly just a tube. When I got it to the length I wanted, I started to crochet the pipe. Here I briefly switched to black yarn to make it look like the plant is actually coming out of the pipe and there's a deep dark hole inside the pipe. Then I switched back to the green to finish off the pipe. It's the details that bring it all together, right? So I made some white spots off camera, and these were just small circles in various different sizes, and tried to place them as randomly as I could. I was also going to cut out some felt triangles for the sharp teeth and then either sew them on or glue them on. I mean, gluing is fine, but I decided in the end maybe I should just crochet the teeth. So that being said, I crocheted the teeth around the perimeter of the inside of the, just inside the lips. So yeah, that's what I end up doing. With that done, I crocheted a few leaves off camera and proceeded to sew them onto the main stalk. And we're nearly done, guys. So all I'm doing here is just adding some wire to the leaves just to make them posable. All that's left is to get some batteries and put this thing together. So while I finish sewing on the leaves, but before we get to the reveal, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and of course if you'd like to see more, then please like, share, comment and even consider subscribing. If you are feeling generous, then also please consider buying me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. The link to my Ko-fi page will be included in the description box below, and any and all donations will be greatly appreciated. We are so close to the surprise, guys. Thanks for sticking with me on this one. I promise you it's gonna be worth it. Also, don't forget to hit that bell button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that, I give you a plumber's worst nightmare. A pipe-bound piranha plant like you've never seen before. Enjoy the beauty shots, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Blah, 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 blah. This makes me so happy.